So this is it. We're really close now to marathon day. And so what I wanted to do was just go through a few of key tips that I've been talking about all week with people as you prepare for the big day. And so hopefully they can be a help for you. Firstly, what we want to make sure is that we're not doing anything differently. And when I say it, people often ask me, what should I be doing the night before the race? What should I be doing this week in preparation for the race? Actually, my biggest thing and fear for people is that we try and change too much. You've been preparing for the marathon, you've been preparing for the race day, and you know now what works for you and your body. So what I would encourage you to do is not do anything differently. Not start thinking about getting a brand new pair of trainers or changing our clothing or changing anything too dramatically that could affect you both physically and psychologically on race day. So don't be forced to change anything differently. Just prepare in the same way that you have. That's what your body's got used to, and that's what it will benefit from on race day. My second tip is around taking some extra TLC. So all the things that you know are going to help your body, now's the chance to be doing more of those. So things like warm baths, stretching, just ultimately looking after yourself as much as possible, keeping hydrated and getting plenty of sleep. We know that the body repairs better when it's under sleep. So this time now is the key period to get yourself prepared for the start line. You're not going to gain any fitness during this week that's going to help you in the race. Your work here is done. What you need to do, in my opinion, is be as prepared and in the best possible shape that you can be on the start line. So take the time this week to be doing those extra TLC. As I said, plenty of sleep, plenty of fluids and hydration. Going to talk a little bit more detail in one of the tips about kind of nutrition and things, but plenty of stretching and just making sure that you're all those little bits that help you, and plenty of rest as well. Not doing anything too excessive, just allowing your muscles to be fully prepared for the race day. My third tip is around what you should be eating, or what the phrase you might be familiar with is carb loading, and making sure that you're just trying to take on extra carbohydrates ready for the race. Now, I want to put a quick caveat in here, because what I don't want you to do is do anything, as I said, reverting back to my first tip, that is totally different for your body. So on the night before the race, what I don't want you to do is think, I need to carb load, I need to hammer down as much pasta as I can, which might make your stomach feel uncomfortable or anything like that the next day. But what you can do over the sort of 3 to 4 days leading up to the race is just to try and get some carbs, some extra carbs into your body in a sort of sustainable way. So it might be that you have a few dinners that revolve around pasta or rice or potatoes, or good sources of carbohydrates that will just top you up with that bit extra, so you're really prepared and ready to go on the start line. My fourth tip is around some motivation. And this is going to be a really personal one for you, but whatever you do to motivate yourself, do that in this week. And the strangest feeling for me when I complete marathons, and particularly when I've completed the couple of London marathons that I've done, that it comes and goes quite quickly. It reminds me of my wedding day, if you can associate with that one, is that you build up for something for so long, and actually then it comes and goes quite quickly. So what I want you to do is try and really get yourself motivated so you're really ready to embrace this on the start line. It's completely normal to have a lot of anxiety. I speak firsthand for this. I remember in the last London Marathon that I did, really struggling around certain things like sleep and anxiety building up for the race. But on the other hand, it is only something that you're going to do not so often in your lifetime. So really make sure that you're getting yourself motivated, because this is the victory lap. You've done the hard work, you've put in the miles, you've put your body through lots of different things. Now what you want to do is make sure you're embracing that and you're really ready, both psychologically and physically, on the start line. So use those tips of motivation. For me, I like to watch some motivating films, and I try and find there's certain films that I like about running or sport in particular that really psychologically gets me ready for the race day. But it might be listening to music, it might be thinking about some of the people that you might be racing for, or thinking about the people that are going to be there cheering you on. Use those visualization techniques to really prepare yourself and embrace this whole period. It's really, when I reflect upon my marathons, even things like going up to the expo, as well as running the race, they're all part of it. And this is a week that you're really going to reflect upon for the rest of your life. And my final tip around that is to make sure you enjoy it. Again, I think like a wedding, you can build up with such anxiety to it that it comes and goes quite quickly. So the things that I've been talking to with clients and patients this week, building up for the races, no matter what, it will be over in a certain period of time. So By the afternoon, you will be on your sofa, feet up, hopefully with a medal around your neck, looking forward to eating everything that you've been, that your body can take, I'm sure. So when you're out there, do try and enjoy it, because it will be over. And for me, it was quite a strange feeling on the marathons that I've run when I finish. And particularly the bigger ones like the London marathons, where you build up to them and you have this sort of anxiety of things that I've mentioned. And then just like that, it's finished. And you'll find yourself on the train or car home or whatever and think, well, so that's it, that's done. So when you're out there, really try and embrace every moment that you can. You will be going through a variety of emotions. You know, I've gone from complete highs to complete lows throughout a marathon, and I don't have any shame in mentioning that. But what I want you to do is really try and embrace those highs. I have some of my most incredible memories of my lifetime have been during running marathons and seeing family and friends, or seeing the other runners around me, reading the stories of why people are doing this. For me, any marathon is a truly incredible event. So what I want you to do is make sure that you are aware as you're running around that this is something you're going to reflect upon your lifetime. Take it all in. Don't let those moments pass you by. Really try and drink up all the crowds and the feelings that you're going through, but also the satisfaction that you can take by completing every single mile that you've done. You've worked incredibly hard for that. And so really, like, some of the sort of techniques that I try to say to people is almost associate a mile to a person. You know, you might find, or 2 miles, you might find that there's certain people in your life that are really important for you and perhaps have been some of the inspiration around running it. So you might say, from mile 0 to 2, I'm going to think about that person. You know, really try and take everything that you can out of it. So that I wanted to be my final tip, because overall it is a fantastic thing that you're about to do, and one that I'm sure you're going to have incredible memories for. So make sure you're enjoying it. Try not to have too much anxiety over it, but also don't worry too much about having anxiety. I'm a big believer in the fact that if something means something to you, it's going to bring with it some nerves. So just embrace the fact that you may be nervous, that you may be worried, because that's showing you that you care, and that's something showing you that it means a lot to you. And actually, the amount that you've built up for this and worked hard to do it, then it makes no surprise that there's some anxiety. But when that anxiety goes and you get running, what that then adds up to is the euphoric feeling when you finish. So whilst embrace the anxiety, know that it's going to lead to a real feeling of euphoria when you complete it. And, you know, if you are running, drop me a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. But most importantly, let me know when you achieve. I'd love to see pictures of medals, completion stories. Love to hear them all. So good luck, enjoy it, and let me know how it goes.